Hi guys, welcome to Bodybuilding and Business episode 17. So last week saw Charlotte, and also on episode 18 you'll see Laurie, but you're back with me this week and we've got a pool session and lots of stuff going on with the business, which I'll explain a little bit later. Also watch to the end of this and you'll be in with a chance to win some free supplements as well. So watch to the end of this video and we'll give you a chance to win some free complete strength supplements as well. So today we're back at LRF in Ashford, and I've got a back session today. All the prime stuff came last week some point, and we've got it all upstairs now. Gym's looking really full at the minute. So we're going to do a row dominant pull day, but I still focus firstly on a pull down. So I do my pull down really to hit and isolate my lats really well, and then I go on to a row dominant session. So then it's predominantly rows, just with different angles and a little bit of upper back and traps to finish, with a little bit of biceps as well. So yeah, gonna get straight on with that now. As always, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll crack on from here. So using a single arm pull down now on a cable. So if you haven't got the gym shot machine that you might have seen me using in the past, the cable is a great alternative to this. And because today is my pull session number 2, I'm actually using the cable here. Really nice movement. I like this Prime functional trainer because not only do the arms move out, they also move in as well. So you can have here high, here wide, and literally have every angle. So that's why I'm using this Prime one, and it's a fucking heavy stack as well. So yeah, on the single arm pull down now, get this knocked out. First exercise here, recruit them lats. Remember, elbow driving down into the pocket of the hip will make a massive difference. So I've got a clip on this machine, not like the people who put clips on the Smith machine, because the arm is actually slightly bent, and if you row, it does actually, the plates actually do fall off sometimes. I need to get a new arm, but I'm not putting it on it to be anal, I'm just putting it on it because the arm is slightly bent. But don't put clips on the Smith machine, because that truly is a waste of time. Now, and you might think, oh, what's the difference between a dual arm and a single arm? Again, just think of the arm path. An arm path just means that the angle that you're pulling down at. When I'm doing a single arm pull down, I pull down very much at this angle here, so I'm very much here in this position here. When I'm doing dual arm, I'm very much here. So there's only a slight difference between sort of starting here and pulling here, and starting here and pulling here. It's only a very slight difference. Same as when we're doing a horizontal row or a low row. It's not a massive difference in terms of the angle from here to here. but it's still a different arm path. It's still going to hit a slightly different part of your back. And almost when you're doing a back workout, you want to try and hit as many different angles as you can to target certain different parts of your back. Of course, if you're trying to target upper back, you want to be rowing like almost up and out. But if I'm trying to target lats, then I want to sort of be rowing or pulling from every angle here, keeping my tricep tight to my side the whole time. If I'm doing upper back, of course, I'm going to be rowing like this. But if I'm trying to target my lats and different part of my lats, at no point me doing just 10 exercises that all do this. I've got to do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit in the middle, and that's going to then target your whole back.
Life is what you make it. My shit been amazing. I can't see a way out. I've been stacking face down off canvases I painted. I just spent the rain day on shit I can't afford, but that's the price I pay for the memories I'm making. I've been going places. I've been shaking hands for a chance to really make it. This life is so abrasive, so I almost gave it. All this shit I'm laying, it's only the foundation. I've been going crazy, just trying to find a way. I was in the basement, trying to turn the page. I was going through the phase. Nobody see my face. I was chasing at the paper. Been all for the waiters, with everything again. Ain't nothing left to lose. I've been breaking rules. I've been making moves with everything to prove.
Just while I'm training, just got a notification from one of my designers that some of our designs are made up. So I'll show you some of the designs here about our next project. That's top secret shit there, boy. That'll be the next big project.
We never met. I'm scared of being without you. Afraid no one ever know me. I'm at the edge, and I can't get us out of my head yet. Looking like who I'm becoming, it's all I ever wanted. Never like me when you're sober, only like you when I'm lonely. Got me looking in the mirror for the self-diagnosis. Feel like they villainize me, for they ever get to know me. They tell me that you need me, but your action didn't show it. Knowing that you play the angles, and I'm seeing through your motives. Put the weight down on my shoulder, found a way to hold it. I can't keep my focus, barely keep composure. Hard when I've been coping with all the pressure that
So just doing a giant set now, straight arm pull down, that pull down, seated row, horizontal row, and then a low cable row. From a muscle building perspective, it's shit. It's not going to really build any muscle, so if you want to build muscle, don't do that. But in terms of a cell swelling perspective, which is part of muscle building, it's really nice. I really like it to finish a session, to get a really nice pump. Just go back to back to back to back on exercises where you're using all different angles, and it gives a really good pump at the end of the session. But in terms of a muscle building perspective, it's not really doing a lot. hamstring and glute room is almost finished. It's in this room here. So at the moment it's just used for storage, as you can see, but this will be turning into a barber's. We'll have 2 chairs, telly up there, seats back here, heaters along that wall, and Jack will give you a little preview of this room. It's actually quite a big room. Now this is now the next project. There's always, you know, it's bodybuilding and business. There's always something going on within the business. And as I say, this will turn into a barber's. This will be a really cool barber's. It's called blacked out barbers. Obviously all the walls and that are all black. The mirror here will be all blacked out. So it'll be called blacked out barbers. So yeah, this will be the next project in getting this room sorted as well. So I've got 15 minutes post-workout cardio, 1-5. And I alter generally between the stairs, and then I do like a tricep between the assault trainer, the rower and the ski machine. So I either do the stairs or the little tricep. And today I fancy doing the tricep. Generally it burns exactly the same amount of calories. So I'll show you the tricep that I do. It's fucking hard, but so is the stairs. So yeah, to be honest, I'll flick between the two. So a little parcel from my guys over at Protein Partners. We've been trying to work on a vegan protein for some time, and we got the chocolate hazelnut right, so that will be coming out soon. This one is chocolate orange we've been working on, and salted caramel as well. That's it, no other goodies. But Shah will try them, being a vegan specialist, and she'll let me know what they're like and feed back to me. Maybe soon, complete vegan or vegan strength, maybe one of the two, not sure. So, did a Q&A again yesterday, always really useful to find out some things that people want to know. So, first question was, what is the best time to eat pre and post workout? So, in terms of pre-workout, it is quite person dependent, but that would be just a shit answer to give you. So, I would say anything between 60 and 90 minutes pre-workout to have your meal. I prefer to go on the end of sort of like 90 minutes because I like to let it digest, and then I take my pre about 45 minutes before I train. So again, I want to give it some time between the meal and my pre. But anywhere sort of between an hour and 60 minutes for pre-workout would be fine. Post-workout, again, is a little bit person dependent. Personally, I like to wait about 15-20 minutes to eat my post-workout meal, just to let some blood disperse from the muscle before I start eating, to allow the blood then to go into the digestive system to help my digestion. But if you finish your session and you're fucking starving, then just have your meal. Like, it's gonna make very, very little difference. So yeah, to be honest, work out what is best for you, but I would say pre-workout anywhere between sort of 60 and 90 minutes, and post-workout all the way from sort of directly finishing your session to around about 45 minutes after would be fine for pre and post-workout meals. So next question was best movements for upper chest. And the reason I put that in inverted commas is you can never isolate one part of a muscle solely. So people will think, well, if I sit on an incline bench and I do an incline press like this, for example, say for example that I do an incline press like this, it's gonna only work my upper chest. It's not gonna only work your upper chest. All your other pec fibers are going to be working as well. Also, the fact if I do, for example, an incline press like this, and I put my shoulders forward like this and press like this, I'm actually not working any chest at all. It's going to be all delt and tricep. So for example, if you're looking at the best movement for upper chest, what I would be doing is looking at the path in which my arm goes. So I'm looking to drive my arm sort of from here to here. So it's sort of going in this motion here, which is sort of maybe like horizontal with sort of maybe my mid chest, and driving that arm up so then it hits my upper pec fibers more. So again, I'll do it from this side so maybe you can see the contraction a little bit better. So if I'm in this position here and I drive up, you can see just how much this top part of my chest is working. The bottom part of my chest is still working. But say for example, I do an incline press and I just sort of press like this, then mainly it's going to be mid-chest fibers still. So what I want to look at is my arm path and say, right, it's sort of horizontal now and it's moving up with those fibers. So anything that's going to move you in that sort of motion. And again, try not to roll your shoulders forward, because as soon as I roll my shoulders forward, I'm actually going to lose contraction in my upper pec. So in terms of what exercises to do, yes, an incline movement would be advantageous, but the most important thing would be your arm path and the way that your arm is moving in that plane of movement. Okay, so again, if I'm just moving like this, it's still going to hit upper chest. Even if I'm doing a decline, it's still going to hit upper chest. Okay, but if you want to prioritize maybe a little bit more upper chest, make sure that your arm is moving maybe from a horizontal position all the way up to an incline position. That's going to be a huge deal of upper chest. Of course, the other fibers will still be working, but that will be one of the ways maybe that you can help target your upper chest, is focus on your arm path rather than the angle of the bench. The angle of the bench, yeah, might be 45 degrees, but if I'm arching my back, then I'm minusing the angle and I'm pushing like this and stretching in like this, then I'm probably not using any upper chest. But you think because you're on a 45-degree angle, you're using upper chest, but you're not. You could actually hit lots of upper chest just on a flat bench if, for example, your arm path went like this. For example, started from mid all the way up to upper. So that is how you would prioritize upper chest. Just worry about your arm path, driving from mid to upper in that sort of motion, and worrying about closing off this angle here. And that's how you're going to be able to target a little bit more upper chest. Another question that we had is, what is the advantage of using cuffs over a dumbbell? And I think this is something that people have spoke about a number of times, but I will answer it again here. Right, so say for example, I'm holding a dumbbell here by my side. I can hold a really heavy dumbbell here by my side, no problem at all. I don't change the weight of the dumbbell, but as soon as I start to lift it up, it actually feels heavier and heavier and heavier. So I get to a point where I literally cannot hold a heavy dumbbell up here. It's going to be impossible, okay? So that is called a strength curve, okay? I'm weak, I'm very, very strong here, and I'm weakest up here. So the dumbbell actually works completely opposite to my strength curve, because the dumbbell feels lightest here, but heaviest here. So it's actually working against my strength curve. So it's not going to be advantageous for me to use a dumbbell, because if I use a heavy dumbbell, I might only be able to do this, for example, where my lateral head might want to go all the way up here, which it does, okay? So I need to pick a weight and pick a movement that allows me to go from here all the way up to here, nice and smoothly, with a constant tension. And that's, for example, where a cuff and the cable work really, really well, because we've got constant tension all the way from here, all the way up to here, and it's not getting heavier and heavier through the movement. As I said, if I'm using a dumbbell, which might be 10 kilos, it feels super light down here, but fucking hell, it feels super heavy up here, okay, because it doesn't help your strength profile, okay, but whereas I'm using a 10 on a cable maybe, it's smooth throughout, and the resistance profile is smooth throughout, so then it allows me then to continue to get stronger in that plane of movement again as well. So use a cuff if you're doing things like laterals. They can be advantageous as well with a fly, for example. You've heard of maybe something called a clavicular fly, is where the cuffs go up here and we're sort of moving in this angle here. One of the things that does allow you to do is it allows you to focus on moving your biceps closer together rather than moving your wrists. And I did do a little bit on one of the YouTube videos about this, but for example, when people are doing a pec deck, they sort of go like this when they're doing a pec deck, and that you might think that's exaggerated, but go into any gym in the country and you'll see people doing pec deck like this, yeah? And when, for example, you're doing a pec deck like this is how much my chest is really contracted, that much, okay? Again, all I've done there is actually just change the angle of my elbows, but my chest is contracted this much. If I use a cuff and worry about getting my biceps together, I can get that much more contraction on my chest, okay? So I'll tell you why it's advantageous maybe to use a cuff on a fly movement, for example, as I said, because when I'm doing the pec deck, I'm doing it like this. Okay, I'm using that pec deck like this. Again, let me just straighten out my arms and show you how much range of motion I'm missing out on. I'm missing out on that much range of motion, which is going to be really, really important for chest development. So if, for example, we did a clavicular fly, worried about getting our biceps together rather than our hands, we'll get all the way in here. Whereas if we do a pec deck like here, we get to here, and that's really the range of motion that we're missing out on. So there's, for example, why a cuff would be advantageous there.